So me and my friend want to play badminton intramurals. Now, the way how it works here is that you actually need to sign up for a team, and then you should go in and they check your ID. Well, at least they're supposed to check your ID and get your signature. Now, I was on a team, but my friend was, and I went to the first game alone with some random people, and they didn't check your ID or make you sign in. In fact, there was no organization at all. Like you were just playing whoever you wanted. I think I played the people on my team, like genuinely. So I told them, well, if they're doing that, then can't we just treat this like some sort of drop in and just go when other teams are going if they don't check IDs? Now, the reason we wanted to do that is because there was something called badminton drop in, which is like a free for all, but it wasn't really drop in. Basically, what you had to do is you had to go online and book the courts. The problem was that there's only a certain amount of courts, and there's a lot of people. So that means that people started using bots to instantly book the courts when the available sessions came out. Now, we thought this plan was foolproof. So we go there, they don't ask for IDs, they don't make you sign in, and you can just play whoever. So it's basically like an actual drop in. So I brought him along for the next game, and we knew when the games were taking place because we could see on the intramurals calendar when each team was playing. And we specifically selected teams that had a lot of people on them because we knew that people wouldn't recognize everyone else. Like the captain probably didn't know every single person on the team if there was 20 people. So we chose two teams that had about 20 people each. So there's 40 people. Now, not all 40 people would show up, obviously. Usually only like 10 or 11 people from each team would show up. So we expected there to be like 20 to 25 people there, and surely the captains would not recognize everyone. So we go there, and we actually get a bunch of playtime on the court. We start playing for like 15 minutes, and the intramurals are only supposed to last for an hour. So we get a good chunk of playtime. But eventually, the supervisor or the person there that's supposed to be responsible for organizing all these events starts asking to see people's IDs and signatures. Now, this was bad news for us because we weren't on the team, and she had a list of the people on the team. So we just started playing on the courts and minding our own business, hoping that she wouldn't come over. And it actually worked for a while until they actually started organizing games and they were like, we're going to play doubles on this court. So we got kicked off. And during that commotion, the supervisor realized she hadn't gotten any of our signatures. So she came up to us to ask us if we had our IDs and signatures. The problem was we knew that we weren't on that piece of paper when she was checking our names. So we ended up saying that we didn't have our IDs because we didn't realize we needed them and that we left our phones in our lockers. So we couldn't show her that we were actually on the team. And we also said that her paper rosters were outdated because we might have just joined the team, so they probably hadn't been updated. So she thought that was a pretty good explanation, so she left, and we occupied a different court and started just playing with each other. Okay, pause. That actually sounds really sus. Now, the main issue was the court we were on was organized for men's doubles. So me and my friend were just playing singles against each other. And eventually, one of the team captains came up to us and said, we don't recognize any of, like, none of the people on our team recognize you. And we asked the other team, and none of them recognize you either. So we knew this was pretty bad because this started causing commotion and more people started gathering around to see if they like knew us. And we knew that none of them knew us because we weren't on the team. So then the supervisor comes up and asks us for IDs again and realizes that we don't have them as usual because we told her we didn't. And then she says we can't really play if we're not on the paper roster or we don't have IDs or we don't have any other way of showing we're on the team. So then we leave. And I found this really weird because when we played previously, the other week, we never had to sign in and we never organized matches. There's no courts for doubles or singles. We just played whatever. Then I told them this might have been just a one off. We can try again next week. So we go again next week. And I told my friend, wouldn't it be ironic if it was the same supervisor? And lo and behold, it was the same supervisor and she remembered us. So she came up to us to ask us for IDs. And we pulled the same bullshit excuse of not having our IDs and not having our phone. And she caught on pretty quick. So she told us we couldn't play in official games. And I was like, official games? Does that mean that we can just play on the court when no one's using it? And she's like, yeah. So our strategy was to play in between the courts while people were on the courts. And the instant they finished the games, we would just go on the court and play for like 5 or 10 minutes, which got us a bunch of playtime until it kind of was annoying getting cut off mid rally or something. So we just left. At this point, we knew that they probably changed something up. Maybe the supervisor got like reprimanded for not doing that on the first game when I was there and taking people's signatures and looking at their IDs. So we knew we actually had to join an official team. Now, I was on an official team, but for some reason, I looked at the schedule and we had no games for the rest of the semester. And I think it was because none of us actually signed in the first time. So we got like disqualified from the entire bracket or from the intramurals thing. So I had to leave that team. And oh my God, it was a pain to leave that team. I don't know why they had that stuff. That might be a separate story I'll tell, but it was an absolute pain to leave that team. It took way too long. Um, and what ended up happening was one of my friends, my other friend, he was on the new team, but I couldn't join it because I was still on the previous team. And so I went there and he could play games, but I couldn't. And it was so awkward. But anyways, we got everything sorted out eventually. And we went there, we got on a new team. We actually played when that team was supposed to play and we were on the roster. It was the same supervisor again. I think she was a bit annoyed at us, but she seemed to be happier when we showed her that we were actually on the roster this time. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we got cooked when we played the people. I don't know, these guys might be sweats. We were in the worst division too. I mean, there's only one division, I guess. So all the sweats were in that division. Yeah, we kind of got cooked. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm great at badminton, but I wouldn't say I'm bad. Like I did play competitively in the past, but bro, I got smoked by these guys. Holy cow. So yeah, that's what happened. We lost so badly. I think we lost like 0-12, 3 games in a row, and eventually we just dropped out of the bracket because we couldn't make it to playoffs. But yeah, that's what happened, you know. And there's a bunch of other associated stories that are really funny. Stories associated with this one, including some volleyball intramural shenanigans too. I might tell those a separate time. But for now, that's pretty much it.